Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our episode of Vampire the Masquerade Salem by Night, Season 2, 1985. It's been a while. I've missed all of you. I hope you've missed me as well, and the anarchs that you are about to see tonight, although they are anarchs, so do we really get to miss them at all in their shenanigans? Where we left off, though, it is Sunday, June 30th, 1985. Shepard has slowed the use of the mobile haven as he is getting used to the apartment living that has been arranged for him. And he has mentioned that there are some new recruits to the Free Souls, Weasel being one of them, who is overly eager to prove himself and may or may not have been responsible for an attack on the Devil's Disciples. Spoilers, he was. He also mentions that one of the other boys named Jackhammer was in the southern part of the city and noticed that there was a weird dog that reminded him of a jackal that he felt was out of place. We established that the Bootleggers Incorporated is a huge corporation that has fingers in cookie jars around the states, most notably having owned the land that now belongs to Ivory Larson, where the Dance Nocturne sits, but also the land for 3 different succubus clubs in Chicago, in New York, and Los Angeles, with a 4th opening up in Miami, Florida. Erickson's new ghoul showed up and mentioned having a 2-hour block of time go missing, which they immediately attributed to the use of Dominate. But she did tell them that she managed to drop off her resume at 2 of the places that she set out to do after Sangria closed. And she also mentioned that her friend Andrea Sawyer did not react to her use of all like others have, and that she found it odd and worth mentioning. Erickson immediately put in a call to his contact, Mickey Blue, to dig up what he could on her. And then when the 2 of them arrived at the motel that was the scene of Weasel's exuberance, they noticed a handful of disciples were already there with a couple of police officers and 2 individuals that looked like they were professionally attempting to not leave any traces of them tampering with the scene. And as they got closer, they saw that one of them turned in their direction, grew a wolf head as the rest of his body became the war form known as Krenos for werewolf players, which Andreas immediately shot him with a silver bullet, marking 1 more off the 6 that they started with. But they also clawed the werewolf's partner to make it look like a animal attack. And then we left off with them taking the partner's wallet and checkbook and vacating the scene as fast as possible. And this is where we're going to pick up with our boys. Good to see you guys again. It's been a while.
Yeah. We are glad you are healed.
Well,
Ing
is the operative word there. But you drive a good bit of a distance away, and Andreas, as you're rifling through the wallet, you notice that there's $38. There's a $20 bill, a $10 bill, a $5 bill, and 3 $1 bills. There's an Oregon license for one Gary Hughes, and the address you recognize as being in West Salem.
Does the photo look like either of the people?
Yeah, the guy with the glasses.
It looks like the guy belonged to. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Time to get some information.
Yeah, in one of the little, it's a trifold wallet, so one of the pockets. You also notice that there's a folded newspaper clipping of a wild bear attack in northern West Salem, and another one that mentions the purchase of the lot that used to be the Red Eye Lounge. And then there's a couple of business cards with his name on them for a Hughes Electronics that is also has a West Salem address. And then he has an assortment of business cards. There's 4 different business cards that don't look like they have anything in common. There's one for Kyle Guthrie, who is a lawyer at Smithson, Humphrey, and Goldman. There's one for Robert Sanderson, who is the vice principal at North Salem High. There's one for Benjamin Miller, who is a camp counselor at Camp Willamette. And then there's one for Michael Henry Prince, who is the owner of Wilding Out Record Store. Wilding without a G. No pictures. No proof of life outside of business.
It's phone numbers and addresses on all of those cards, right?
Yep.
And no proof of life outside of the business, right?
No proof of life outside of his of I think he has like 6 business cards for Hughes Electronics.
I was like, call it a hunch, but that's how monsters behave.
Real quick, I just want to check something. The ghoul that works, the Grant Reynolds ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
She works at a law firm, but that's not the same one.
Not the same one.
Okay. Still, that's good to know. Okay. Well, we don't recognize any of these names. These names have, at least first names, have never come up in conversation. Nothing like that.
None of these names are familiar to you guys.
It's like with or without our Diary of a Madman notes.
Yeah.
And the addresses seem like the business cards are from locations that are completely off in different directions. They're not in like...
It is weird. The lawyer's address, the firm is in South Salem. The vice principal, obviously, the address for North Salem is in the north part of Salem. The counselor, Camp Willamette, is in West Salem. And then Wilding Out is on the river.
In East?
In Salem proper.
In Salem proper.
So it's probably, looking at the address, it would be between Gunther's storage and the Albatross.
Would I be safe to assume, because you told me south, north, west, and then we have Salem proper.
It would be a more central location for the record store.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's on the
goddamn wolves are moving in from every direction on us.
It's on the west side of the city because that's the river separates Salem proper from West Salem.
Yeah, it's just
there's nothing on the eastern side of the city.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking about it as though these are. I'm gonna have to look at a map just because I want to get an idea.
Sure. I'll give you one.
I would imagine we had a map inside the car.
Yeah, there. You've been to gas stations and you've taken a map of the city.
In fact, I think you already gave us a map of the city, but I don't think you gave us.
Yeah, right here.
A larger scale.
I can give you a larger.
Yeah.
Like a more encompassing map.
I just want to know, the one thing that I'm going to have to start focusing on now is where all these places are, because that's also important on where it's located. All these phone numbers.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you make any heads or tails of this?
Yeah, I gotta change the domains too.
Well, if I was trying to move into a city, I'd be taking over not taking over, but I'd be at least implementing myself to have bases in all the pertinent locations around town. That's what this looks like it's doing. This is this is old World War II envelopment shit. This is they're gathering intel on all the areas. I know what I'm looking at. It's just
funny
to see wolves doing it.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's the thing. I don't. With my limited experience with wolves, I don't know if this is something normal. This is something normal for our kin, but not something that I've seen wolves
Eric,
do necessarily.
for the first roll of us coming back,
Oh shit!
you don't have to roll because you do have 6 dice, so you could take half and get 3 successes.
Okay.
But it was going to be a wits and awareness roll.
You know, I can't just sit there and just like, I'll take the 3 on that. No, we're rolling dice.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Why not? And plus, I want to use my
Oh, your
the
ivory
senator
dice? Yeah.
my custom dice. I have 2 hunger. Hold a sec.
Do I have a link to her dice? I do. Wow, I remembered it. Look at me remembering shit.
Look at you doing it.
I'm a pro.
I got a 10 and the 1 on the hunger, and then a 9.
You're driving, so you don't need to worry about it. This is just for Andreas.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, he's the one rifling through the wallet.
I'm trying to. Hold on, let me check my shit. Where is it?
The last thing we need is a messy critical, guys.
That's another reason why there's no shame in taking half.
All right, can you see my character sheet right now?
Yeah.
All right, because I'm like, all right. What am I roll?
It's 6 dice.
All right.
Your hunger's 2, so it'd be 4 regular, 2 hunger.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, remember that the difficulty is always 6 for successes. It's not a success game anymore as far as like what you're looking for on the die. It's a threshold of number of successes now that matters. It's a little refresher.
All right. So I got a 10 and a 3 on the hunger dice.
Okay.
And then 7, 6, 9, 5.
6, 9. So 4 successes. All right, 1 extra one. Not bad. You find, as you're kind of shaking the wallet out, making sure that nothing is missing or unaccounted for, and you notice that one of the pockets kind of slides off of itself, and there's a hidden compartment in one of the pockets, like an extra pocket, and there's a folded notepad, like a notebook paper, that has a list of names. All of them are scratched out except for 2. A Vincent Gremmold that has a note in a different handwriting that says Our Lady of Mercy, North End. And the other name is Byron Daniel Johnston. And the same handwriting that wrote Our Lady of Mercy has written ties to Portland Municipal Library. Look into Arcanum later.
Of course, the Tremere have some shit going on at the library.
I mean,
so, ooh, slapping my brouhaha across the chest.
Well, Portland Municipal, you remember, is owned by Gregory Handel.
Exactly, yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay. Don't hit me while I'm driving, man.
Hidden door and a trapper keeper. Who knew? So check, and so I start rattling off all the information I found out to him.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very proud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, none of these names ring a bell to us, other than the municipal. Other than obviously the bringing up the municipal library.
Yeah.
And what was that? What was that first name you mentioned again? That actually sounded like it almost sounded like an alias for this guy.
Vincent
Gremmold.
Yeah.
And then who was the one who owned him? That was Handel.
Gregory Handel is the owner of Portland Municipal Library.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh my God, we get one. We get one clue, and then all of a sudden, more questions. What is this moonlight
explosion?
Look, I rolled dice and nothing's on fire. Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, the magnitude of that.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it's one of the few non-arson related rolls that we have to do.
Oh, also
I started fires on non-arson related rolls.
It's true. Looking at my notes, you have 2 silver bullets left, so the countdown has begun to face off.
Well, that's what's bothering me the most of all. Is I'm like, number one, I'm gonna need more silver because even if they're not magical like these things, I need some more silver bullets.
Sure.
Who is it that we have information on?
Who don't you have information on?
No. I mean, the specific, Who do we know that has information regarding lichen that we can give these names to? Because that we can trust is really the question.
A good question.
Yeah, once you add that last part
No, that's
in,
what I'm
it's like,
asking. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking Andreas. I'm like, who can we actually trust to be able to look into this? Because I believe the last time we did something like this, we almost we almost got attacked. So
Melvin was your go-to for dealing with the guru,
yeah.
because he had a contact that he couldn't like summon, but they were cordial with each other. So you could try reaching out.
Try reaching out to Melvin. Hey, it's
Not
long
Melvin.
time no talk.
But his contact.
Yeah.
Take your chances.
are we able to? I mean, do we even have the phone numbers or however the fuck he was reaching said guru or guru contact?
It was the bouncer at Charlie at the Red Eye Lounge.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I would assume that Melvin also told you and trusted you with the fact that he is not a guru, but he is kinfolk.
Well, the problem is what questions are we even going to ask this guy without accidentally pissing him off? Because even what I know about werewolves is like a little bit.
Oh, I want to cross-reference real quick. I have the ledger. I just want to make sure the addresses that I have in the ledger don't correspond with any of the addresses that we have from the.
They don't.
From the business cards. Okay, I just want to make sure. So this is not intermingling,
They
so
don't.
to speak.
But there is a mention on one of the ledger pages that doesn't have a list of names, so it isn't an account of what's of somebody staying or feeding, but it is a list of what says aliases ? And one of the names on the list is Our Lady of Mercy.
Okay, so Our Lady of Mercy. Okay, so there is a possible connection then from Our Lady of Mercy, because that's the principal is from Our Lady of Mercy, right?
No, the principal's from North. The vice principal's from North Salem High.
North Salem High.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, none of the business cards are for anybody from the church.
Well, I mean, what time is it right now? 'Cause I forget.
Probably like 2 a.m. at this point.
Yeah, we wrecked some people and got the fuck out of there. So
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I just want to know how much time we have until we gotta
Yeah, you got about
take a dirt nap.
2.5 hours
Okay.
on the safe side.
Besides you're hanging out with me, in a pinch, I could yank you under the ground with me.
Yeah, 3 hours if you wanna get loosey goosey.
You want to get frisky about it?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's disconcerting, but it'll save your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah. I don't need to breathe. So
You don't.
It's I don't need to breathe.
That's always the joke whenever someone like learns earth meld for the first time is once you remember you don't have to breathe, it's easier to relax.
Yeah.
So what I want to find, we're not in Salem proper, right? We're in West Salem, I believe.
No, you're on the northern edge of Salem proper.
Okay.
The motel.
So we're already near Guru territory.
Yeah.
The motel straddled the line between North Salem and Salem proper.
So the idea is I guess the idea would be either we try this connect, or we just start looking at these addresses, I guess.
Let's check out a couple of the addresses first, because it's a little late tonight to try and get information that we can act on, and I'd rather not give, in case he's not, simpatico to us. I don't want to have an entire day's head start to get shit ready to make problems for us. So.
Oh wait, out of character. My ghoul Trix is currently trying to work over in in the Dance Nocturne.
Yeah, you have asked her to try to get into the Dance Nocturne.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to see, because once she's able to get access, I just want her to know. The information I want her to find out is who the ghouls are, because they have to have ghouls. And if it just so happens that one of those ghouls' names just happens to be fucking Andrea, then I have. Then,
As far as you're aware, you know that Ivory has one ghoul.
yeah. That we've met. Yeah.
That you've met, Billy. As far as like Kathy or Carl, they've never mentioned ghouls.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's a ghoul for somebody. At least I'm assuming she's a ghoul for somebody. So I want to figure out.
Safe assumption.
Yeah, safe assumption. Okay. So yeah, man.
It's not a terrible leap.
If we're already on the outskirts, we could either go to that church or we can go to North Salem to where the vice principal address was.
I say let's go to the church, but that's me.
No, you're gonna have to lead.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's kind of. I wanted to see where we were going with this, because that was the whole thing. Is I'm just like, I want to put you near a cross.
Yep.
You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to get over that. One of these days.
Not tonight. Straight to the moon. Yeah. You driving around, you've been kind of like circling different places, trying to stay away from the motel, but still in the area. You haven't aimlessly wandered into like Salem proper, like the core of Salem or Old Town or anything like that. So it's not terribly long. It's maybe like 15 minutes to get to the church. And there's very minimal lighting. There's no lights coming from inside, but there's, the spotlight on the big cross at the top of the steeple church. There's a one of those signs that looks like you would slide the letters in, that has an artistic rendering of what you imagine is Mary Magdalene. And it just says double service today, 8 and 1, 8 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Okay.
It's always funny to see a sign that could belong on a church or a strip club.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this as sacrilegious as possible. Maybe it'll take the power of the crosses down a little bit.
I mean, it's obviously encircled by a gate or a fence.
No, the church itself is not gated. There is a fenced off area in the back that looks like it's set up for kind of picnic area. There's the long tables with the benches. There's what looks to be one of those public park barbecue pits, the kind of like little boxes. There's one of those. There is a large red cooler that has its lid open and kind of looks like it's been angled to release all of its watery contents. It looks like it was used recently.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, well, I guess the best way to do it is for us to check the outside of it.
And ditch the car and get on foot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also saying that since now that we both can meld into shadow, so to speak, I would like to talk before we do this, because I think the last time we did this, we couldn't find each other. So
yeah, well, I was just about to suggest we hold hands, but
I mean, can we do that?
You can hold hands. There's nothing stopping you from holding hands.
Yeah.
But would it break?
No.
No. Okay.
If one of us was obfuscated and then the other one wasn't, then yeah, you're probably talking about you could break it just by.
Yeah.
But both of us, yeah. If both of our powers are on, we're only disguising ourselves. There's not like a invisible point in the middle where suddenly they see a couple of hands floating.
Yeah.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Remember, this isn't actual invisibility. This is basically we have convinced every mind around us that we're not there.
Yep.
Copy that.
Yeah, that's why we still show up. That's why we still show up on film.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's based off of sound more than anything. So as long as you're not giggling while you're holding hands, you'll be fine.
Yeah. That would have been in the beginning. That would have been the case. Now, not so much. So
Yeah, but yes, but we can plan in advance before we link up and go in there.
But the idea would be then to, obviously we're not going to go through the front. I would like to see, I would like to see if there's any lights. I want to see if there's anything on. I mean, the last church that we were by, it just so happened that there was a steakhouse that was there. That was right by it, across from it.
The only thing that's on is the light for the signage out front and the spotlights on the roof and on the front of the church that are aimed at the large cross. And as you get closer to the church, you'll notice that this is a huge fucking cross. Like, it is easily 12 or 14 feet tall.
It's making me very uneasy.
Yeah, I was about to. This is my character curiosity at this point is like, so is there like a range for the effect we've seen?
I really have not paid attention to the range. All I know is that the moment that it stops feeling good is when I stop moving. So, let's just take it by ear, I guess. At this point,
all right.
Yeah, you do get to the point where you go from a straight line towards the church into a curved line around the church. So you find where the uncomfortable spot is for you. But it does not stop you from going to the back. And once you're in the back, it's out of sight, out of mind. So it's easier for you to just kind of like rummage around in the back of the church.
Now, going through there, just so randomly, are there like other decorative crosses here and there tastefully placed or something? Or
out in the back? No, doesn't look like it.
Okay.
No.
So it was really just that massive one out front was real. That was
the massive one at the top of the
for a minute.
At the top of the front of the front part of the church, the steeple.
That's where they spent everybody's money on. Was that fucking?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are the side that you kind of skirt around towards the back. You notice only has 3 stained glass windows. The rest are regular rectangular windows. But as far as like being able to see inside, with Eyes of the Beast, you can kind of peek in and see that there is the kind of huge cross with the Jesus Christ stapled to it in the back behind the pulpit area. But the way the moonlight catches the 3 opposite stained glass windows, you can see that the stained glass has been very subtly placed with the coloring to create the appearance of crosses.
Subtle, so subtle that I wouldn't even notice it as I walk by. No, just...
I mean, you do notice it immediately because you're so attuned to religious iconography. Yeah. But for Andreas, it's a little bit subtler. Like, if you weren't backing away, he wouldn't have noticed the coloring difference.
Okay, but
what if I wasn't like backing up while we're talking, or what?
No, because Andreas.
Because of his reaction.
Because of his reaction.
I'm starting to back away from the stained glass. So.
Yeah. Both of you have Eyes of the Beast, so I figured both of you would go to a window and look in, and then the moment he catches the moonlight creating the cross iconography in the opposite,
you just hear me go, nope. That's all you hear. You just nope.
And then a few steps back. And now that you know what you're looking for, you can also see that the stained glass windows on this side also have the subtle cross motifs, but because they're not being backlit like the others are by the moon, it's easier for you to kind of
Ignore them.
ignore them.
But can I, as far as for the windows, not the stained glass, but for the regular rectangular windows, is there any inside latch, or do we see that it's a latch that it can open?
No, it looks like like they were installed to not be opened.
There's got to be a back entrance.
Hmm?
So I'll scurry along to look for that.
Yeah, from what you saw before you were forced
Yeah. Also,
to
let's
back
not.
off.
Let's not separate too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're still holding hands.
yeah,
That's not stopping.
Yeah, from what you saw before you were forced to back off, it looks like there's maybe a 20 to 25-foot difference between the back of the church where the big Jesus Christ is, behind the pulpit, and the back of the church itself. So you can imagine that there's at least a reliquary back there, if not the actual like priest's abode.
Yeah, his chambers.
Mhm.
That's really what I want to. That's really what I'm trying to look for.
Sure. But there's a back door when you get back there, and you can see, like I said, the picnic tables, the barbecue, the cooler, and 2 trash cans. One of them looks like the lid is securely placed on it. The other one has a kind of like angle to it, like something bigger or more expensive has been shoved in there.
Into which one?
One of the 2.
Okay, but that's from the outside, right? That we can get, that we have access to.
Yeah, there's like a little 4-step kind of outdoor ramp up into the church itself. And on one side of the steps you see the cooler, on the other side of the steps you see the 2 trash cans. And the fence here is maybe 3 feet tall. Like, it's easy to vault. But there is a little gate.
Well, just in case, I'd like to peer in just to casually pry open that one trash can that looks like it's
Okay.
Overstuffed.
So you vault into the backyard.
I mean, that to get to that, right? That's what we see
Yeah.
in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. One second.
You're hanging out with the wrong guy if you want to be safe.
Oh no! I mean, where this? I don't think one of our pillars is safety. I don't think the pillars of our coterie is safety.
No.
It's nowhere near that.
You crosses me. Good decisions.
Yeah.
Your strength and athletics is 5, so you can easily take half and clear it with 2.
I'll do it for this one.
Yeah.
Both of you have the same dice pool for athletics.
Yeah, I don't want to get a messy critical and then all of a sudden I'm just destroying a church.
Yeah, no, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it?
That'd be terrible.
For you.
Yeah. So yeah,
So both of you vault the little fence, and Andreas will feel the tug of the hand as Erickson beelines for the trash can, and then the lid just kind of pops up. There looks like there's a bunch of party stuff. Like there's the little pennant, little triangular colored pendant. It says birthday, so you can imagine that there was a happy birthday, some kind of birthday. It looks like there's a remnant of a rectangular baker's, like a bakery plate for a cake. There's the scent of confections. There's half-eaten like hot dogs, cotton candy.
Does it look like it's been? Can I tell from the smell of it how long it's been there?
Oh,
If it's
it
been there
was
for more than a day?
no, it was today.
Okay.
Easily today.
Okay. Somebody's birthday. It doesn't say a name off a banner that they threw away.
It does not have a name.
Okay. All right. Fuck it.
I'm curious about that tilted. I'm curious about that weirdly tilted cooler.
The weirdly tilted cooler. I'm all for weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tilted in a way that they were flushing out whatever was inside.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right. Yeah. So let's do what we're here for. Then now I'm starting to feel like this is going outside of.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just. Well, for a second there, I was expecting white trash Dracula to come out of the fucking cooler. So you know. What?
Y'all ain't from around here, huh?
I've crossed creeks of time to find you.
Cross creeks. Man, you go up the little steps and you check the back door and it's locked.
Is it a padlock or a regular
No, regular locked door.
locked door?
Yeah. It looks like there's a deadbolt, but as far as like the knob is concerned, it doesn't turn.
The knob won't turn at all.
No,
Yeah,
it clicks like maybe 2 degrees in either direction.
All right. What's the roll to pick a lock? Or to try to?
That would be.
Can he use his claw and just be like?
No. That would be.
No, motherfucker! I'm going to use this here grenade pin I just pulled.
There you go.
Yeah, that's more like it. It would be dexterity and larceny.
Okay. You know what? Let's have some fun in honor of our good friend Melvin. Let me try and do some dexterous shit.
All right.
Dexterity and larceny.
Yep.
Man, I would not be able to do shit with that.
That's 4 dice for Andreas, so it'd be 2 regular, 2 hunger.
I mean, that's double what I would do. So go for it. Either that, or I'm gonna start prowess and just fucking prop. just
when in doubt.
Yeah, no. I mean, like here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. If the quiet way doesn't work, then it's just like Fezzik, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So okay. 10 and a 5 for the hunger die, and then a 6 and a 5 for the regular die.
It is not a hard lock. It's a little bit rougher with the deadbolt because you have to kind of straddle the line of forceful but not break your picks. But you get it to the point where it's in enough that you can kind of scrape it against the door jamb.
Okay.
And it opens.
Wait. Before it opens.
Sure.
I want to make sure that he's able to get before it opens.
Sure.
Is there an angle at any point? I want to be able to check this door because if this is, even though this is the 80s, they would still have some kind of alarm system. So
yeah,
this is the house. This is the house of God. Jesus is the alarm system.
Yeah. Unless they're trying to hide something that's more than just Jesus. That's my.
Nobody would steal from the house of God.
You want to know something? If we open this door and it's fucking booby trapped, I'm impressed enough to come back for services. So.
All right. Okay. That's just me being too paranoid.
Yeah, no.
No such thing as too paranoid in the world of darkness. No such thing. But
like you take a look at the door as he finishes unlocking it, and from the outside there's nothing that looks like it would trigger an alarm. And looking at the sliver of the door itself as it opens towards you, there's nothing attached to the locking mechanism that would trigger an alarm. The thing that gets you is at the moment the door opens, staring at you in the back hallway of this church is a smaller Jesus Christ on the cross, just kind of sitting there waiting to judge people that come into the church through the back door.
Avert your eyes.
The surprise of it does kind of force you away. So
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
This is churches, bro. So yeah. Are you able to? Since I'm not focusing too much on what's going on, since we
Yeah,
opened the
actually,
door,
yeah.
can you?
Well, if I'm peeking in there, is there any is there a sheet or something like that I can maybe throw over the cross when we get to that thing over there?
the not directly across from the back door, but at an angle, you can see what looks to be a door that's ajar. That smells like a bathroom. And looking in to one side, you can see the door to the reliquary is kind of not wide open, but it is open enough that you can see some of the vestments that you could probably take to cover the.
Okay. Just cover a part of it. It doesn't have to be the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm just. This is just something. So if we're going to be in there searching around for a few minutes, so you could do it
Look,
unimpeded.
worst case, I break off a piece of the cross, or you break off a piece, and that's enough for me. That's
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm like, let's try to not leave a sign for a change. We already left a couple of bodies earlier this evening.
who said that was us?
We
Who
did,
knows?
and we're the only ones. We're the
Yeah,
only ones here that we
exactly.
know of right now, so I can fucking say it.
Okay.
When you go inside, to the left, you'll notice that there's another door that's slightly ajar, and you can hear a rhythmic breathing.
Okay, so that means the pastor's sleeping.
Damn, I mean, 3 in the
Is it
morning.
that kind? Is it? I was like, is that? Well, I'm like, is it that kind of rhythm?
Yeah, it's not sexual. It is definitely.
Oh, I was like chanting to evil gods and shit. Yeah,
No, it is.
I was
It
like
is a
praying to
resting.
anti-Jesus.
It is a resting rhythm.
Okay. Good to know.
I can just imagine that's what we run into. It's like, oh well,
Yep.
all right.
I would
We're just
make
Like, all right.
I would make a distasteful joke here, but I also know that we have terms of service we got to abide by.
Correct. Yes. No.
Ooh.
That's why that's low hanging fruit. You would have grabbed that.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
just. But yeah. So all right. So we know that that's the chamber. Like that's. I imagine that's either the pastor or that's or somebody that's staying there.
But Andreas, let's go over your hand for a moment, and then you see one of the vestments come floating over and drape itself over the cross, giving you enough of a breathing space to kind of walk into the back of the church. In the reliquary, you'll see the different vestments for the different religious events. You know, like Easter, that will have a special vestment. Christmas, things like that, the holidays. But you'll also notice that there's a thick leather-bound King George Bible, but it doesn't have religious iconography embossed into it.
Oh, that's the first thing I would grab then.
Okay.
Because the fact that it doesn't have anything on it,
it's heavy.
It just literally says King James Bible on it.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you know that it's a Bible. So
yeah,
that's also very interesting. It's
but
heavy.
It is heavier than the book should be.
Okay.
Because you've carried Bibles before, like you know, what something like this should weigh.
Yeah,
It does not.
gold. It's not even gold gilded or anything like that.
No,
So.
not at all.
Yeah.
Come on, open it up and unleash a 1,000-year-old Catholic werewolf.
Let's see.
Yes.
Here we go. Is it on the pulpit or is it on?
No, it's on a table.
Oh, just randomly on a table. Cool. So yeah. And yeah, fuck it. I won't even pick it up. I'll just open it from the table itself.
Okay.
Like.
There is what looks to be a cross guard or sword. The Bible itself has been cut away so that the cross guard sits across the height of the Bible itself. but it's heavy.
So wait, it's just the cross guard
Yep.
that I see when you open it up.
Yep.
What
Like
is the cross guard?
sitting there like a bookmark, or does it look like
No, like
maybe a sword continues into the table?
No, like the whole the cavity for it has been carved out of the Bible pages. So the Bible doesn't open to a regular set of pages like it opens up, like it's meant to house this cross guard. It looks like if the sword was complete, it could easily be held in such a way to create a cross. It looks like a Gothic styled iron wrought cross.
Yeah, but it's not a cross.
No,
it's just a cross piece.
Just a cross guard.
It'll definitely become a cruciform sword.
Right. Any
That's
engraving?
like a traditional English broadsword. There's a Latin phrase etched into it.
Well, I dabbled. I dabbled as a state senator in the Bible Belt. So what would the?
It'll be a rough road for you. It would be intelligence and academics.
Well, I'm not that smart.
I was gonna say I was like a Southern Baptist speaking Old Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole 2 dice.
Yeah.
That's all my.
That would be your hunger dice, so you can't do anything against this if you roll bad.
Yeah. 6 and a 5.
Okay. You don't recognize the phrase. It's not one that was used in any of the services that you attended. But you do recognize the word for demon or devil.
And it's just the cross guard. So if I take it out of there, I can take it out.
You can take it out. Yeah, it's heavy. Like I said.
Like even for me, it's heavy.
No, with the fact that you have potence helps offset it, but it feels too heavy to be a balanced cross guard.
Yeah, it's more substantial than it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if
deprive the enemy of nice things.
Yeah, but if you have this, then I wonder where the other piece is then.
And more importantly, do they need to complete it for it to be an item of power or whatever the hell it's going to be? Hence, more reason to larcen this shit.
That's fine. Either worst case, we melt it down and sell it for something. All right. Anyway, so
I'm gonna make new handlebars for my fucking bike from this thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know what? I'll keep it like if I'm carrying it, I might as well carry it in the book that it came in.
Okay.
Make it easier. So
Sure.
I'll take the book.
King James Bible.
King James Bible.
Yeah. Really, what I'm trying to look for besides that is there any? I guess we just want to keep searching to see if there's any basement entrance.
No. It looks like this is a 1-story. The only real extra layers would be in the steeple, but that's a tower.
So there's nothing. So there's no like underground. Like what I'm trying to look for is also a storage room, because they have to have something.
No. It looks like.
I mean, that's what like the reliquary and the lectern room and all that shit's for.
Looks like this is where everything is kind of kept. You haven't seen the priest's room, so you don't know how cluttered that is, if cluttered at all.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any. What I'm trying to also find out is there any paperwork, any documentation, any parchment that has the name. What's the name I'm looking for? Sorry, I know you just told us this. And of course I didn't write it down. Did you write it down, Andreas?
Which one? Which one are we looking for? A handle?
The name
Yeah,
associated with this
Yeah,
was Vincent Grimold.
Reynolds.
So,
Yeah, I want to see if there's any paper. Like, in fact, you know what? We still have silent. We still have our obfuscate on, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've been
So let.
we've been poking around quietly. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let me just go inside this room then
Okay.
that he's in. Worst
The
case, I'll scare the shit out of him. Make it.
Yeah, no.
Give him a heart attack, and then make it.
It's an older gentleman, maybe 40s. There is a small single bed in the corner. There's a nightstand that looks like it has a lamp, and there is a book that is kind of folded. It's a novel. It's not like an actual Bible, but it looks like a kind of light brown cover that extends to the back. And if you get closer, you can see that it just says 4 letters on it, and then it has like in thick, kind of bold 4 letters, and then it just has the thin kind of name of the author running down the spine. But it's Stephen King's Cujo.
Interesting that
It looks to be
reading this.
looks to be about halfway through it. Opposite the bed, there is a small desk with a simple chair and a filing cabinet in the corner. Looks to be 4 different cabinets. There's a open closet. The kind of folding door closet, the accordion doors. Open closet in front of the bed. Has maybe 6 or 7 outfits. Couple jeans, mostly slacks, like 3 or 4 slacks. 1 or 2 t-shirts, but everything else is kind of buttoned up. Kind of fancy dress shirts. Couple jackets, and then 1 thick kind of long coat. But there's a couple of shoes, some snow boots, like boots made to be used in snow, not like the actual like tennis racket snow boots. And then there's boxes that have, kitchen stuff written on it, library, and bedding. There's 3 different boxes that kind of take up the corner of the closet. And that's when you notice that on top of the desk, there's a little hot plate. And there is, under the desk, a mini fridge. This would be a great bachelor pad if he wasn't a priest.
yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, it depending on which denomination, it still could be. Still could be. If he's not Catholic, we're okay.
Yeah. There's no religious iconography in the room
At all.
at all.
Yeah, because I would have been freaking out if I was.
Yeah.
Which is also just that's also very odd.
Almost like this place is a front.
Yeah. So let me start thumbing through the filing cabinet then.
Okay. You go to try to open it, and it is locked.
Okay. So I'll start searching for a key. If I have to kill this guy, I will. So I just
Okay.
is the key around his neck? Is that what you're gonna tell me right now?
No.
Humanity rolls. Where we're going, we don't need humanity rolls.
Yeah. You can see that folded up nicely on the office chair that he has there in front of the desk. There's a pair of pants. It's easy to kind of find a key ring.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 different keys. 2 that look like they're for the locks to the front and the back of the church. One that is smaller that looks like it might open the cabinet, and then one that looks like it came out of the Victorian era.
Oh, so
Like-
I'm keeping these keys.
like it
This
is- It is finger length, and it doesn't have the ridges, the teeth. It has an actual kind of
like the actual piece, like like how you would see an old skeleton key.
correct.
All right. I flat like I don't know where because because we separated. I don't know where Andreas is, but
I'm assuming we're doing the real slow creeping around, but like if you're fucking holding up some keys and shit like that, I'm
exactly
Yeah,
like
he'll,
I'm-
he'll
like I'm
see
holding
he'll
up-
see the pants kind of float up,
yeah.
and then the keys come out.
It's really just showing. Really, what I want to show is that one skeleton key or that one old-looking key.
Yeah.
That he sees it. So yeah. So that's for something. So, but anyway, I'm gonna see about using the one that looks most likely to be used for the cabinet for the filing cabinet.
It unlocks it.
Okay. Just
Um,
want to slowly open and start thumbing through it.
yeah, you notice that the cabinet is rough. When you go to slowly open it, you start to hear the grind of the metal on metal, like the cabinet. Like each of the cabinets has been purposely moved off of its track. And as you start to pull the first one, you hear that kind of grind, and you stop, and you can hear the breathing for a moment catch itself, and then you see the gentleman kind of turn, but then the rhythmic breathing begins again.
All right. This is
all right.
This,
I'm creeping over to Erickson really quick.
Yeah.
Get like right up in his ear, and just I can use silence of death. That's a whole radiative effect around you, right?
Yeah, so no sound will get around.
Yeah.
So I can't even. So you can't even tell me what you're gonna say.
Correct.
No. But if I get close to the priest, then you can make whatever noises you need to make.
That I mean, if that's what you're doing, I don't know if that's what you're doing.
The room is large
What?
enough that silence of death only affects you. So opening any of the file cabinets will probably awaken the priest.
Okay, but if I move and I can't move in a close enough proximity to like negate sound around him.
No, it's just sound that you make.
Damn. All right, never mind. Negate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not quietus. It's
This,
Yeah,
this whole-
That's where that power fucking came from.
yeah. Well,
the filing.
it's a dumbed down version of it.
Yeah.
The filing cabinet is connected to this desk,
No, it's its own entity.
so I can essentially lift up this filing cabinet. Is what you're saying?
Sure can.
Okay. I want to, as slowly as possible, lift this filing cabinet. And if need to, I will chuck it at this old man if he wakes up. I just want to say that in case.
Sure.
But, yeah, I'm going to try to lift this filing cabinet up.
Okay.
I'm gonna help with this lunacy. Why not?
Okay.
All of a sudden, you just
Yeah,
It-
midnight movers. Just like why not?
Yeah.
best case scenario, you're going to see a floating
Yeah,
fucking cabinet going
Again, it's 1985. We got to move these refrigerators.
Yeah.
I mean-
The moment that the two of you come over and lift the filing cabinet up, you hear something sliding against the back of the wall, like it was pinned between the cabinet and the wall, and you'll see a thunk as the sword part of the English broadsword hits the desk.
Is there any way that I can grab it so it would not cause that thunk?
Oof. And still hold on to the filing cabinet?
I mean, if it lands
Can I
on my foot, it is what it. Like how
I make-
high up
Can I
off
make-
the ground?
He's stronger than me. So can I make the grab for it?
Yeah.
You try to make the grab for it, sure.
I'll try and make the grab for it.
It'll be a dexterity and athletics.
All right.
So,
Let's see
it's
how
5
well
dice.
are we
No.
on in this. All right. There you
So
go.
3 regular, 2 hunger. Not
And you won't let us do half to try
Terrible.
to try to save it.
You can do half if you want to. If you want to take it, you can always take half.
Nah, fuck it. Go for
As Resident Ravnos, I cannot do that.
Now, this is one
Almost
of
a
those.
compulsion that I have to do
Yeah.
this.
I would say that if you took half, the 2 would not be enough to catch it, just because.
Okay. Well, 6 and 7 on my hunger die,
Okay.
and 6, 10, and 2 on my regular die.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. The load gets easier when Andreas helps you pick up the filing cabinet, and then the moment that you see the sword coming down towards the desk, you feel the full weight of it back into your hands.
Fine.
But you also see the sword stop right before it hits the desk. The,
Alright.
the sword
Tuck
is
the
heavy.
blade. Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, tuck the blade under my arm if I can, or at least like lay it across my arms and then fucking help him with the thing again.
I would just very softly place it on the ground. Just very softly.
The moment that you pull the sword free from its place, from its like hiding place, and you have full view of it, both of you take 3 points of superficial damage.
Ooh.
Oh.
From the blade itself?
From the blade and the proximity to its crossguard, and you notice now that there is bursting into a kind of bluish flame a cross on the cover of the Bible.
Give me the Bible.
Son of a bitch, bro.
I was gonna say, before you scream and drop it, just
Yeah. At this point, I'm just like, this is fine. That's in my
Yeah.
But yeah, I am like this is like the Atlas ball. I'm treating this filing cabinet like the Atlas ball and fucking world's strongest man. I'm just like, what do you want?
I gently put down whatever the other stuff I was holding, and just try and help him just get it down to the ground quietly. Still not wake up this. We're showing more concern for this priest continuing to live than most mortals.
Like in my mind, I'm like, why am I doing all of this work? I said, I can just kill this man.
Yeah.
I could just.
See, that's where I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. But you notice as you put the Bible down and you put the sword down, there is this moment where the flame jumps from the cross to the blade itself, from the book to the blade itself, and it's almost like it's activated itself, and you see the book open and the crossguard slide down the length of the blade until there's a clicking noise.
This is so much bullshit.
Yeah. But you see it kind of just the moment it clicks into place, it floats there like a burning cross.
So is this guy awake yet? What the fuck's going on? Because at this point, you would think this guy would wake up.
Everything's been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Even this
I
flaming sword that's on.
Yeah.
It's a lightly flaming sword. It's a nice, cool blue color. Will, what the fuck kind of damage did we feel? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, what did that come across as to us?
Is it like searing pain or what? Like
It is the best way to put it. It is the equivalent of God's justice. We're
all vampires. We've never felt God's justice.
No. This is the first. This is the first time that you've ever felt something divine touch you, and it did not feel good.
But things floating there. Can I physically?
Can we
touch the blade now?
Is that what the fuck can we do? Like,
I'm just saying. I'm going through steps to see if I can
Yeah.
remove it from its magical sheath in the air.
If you step towards it, you notice that you start to bleed from your orifices.
Him or me?
Whoever steps
I'm-
towards it. And
okay,
Erickson can't step towards it because it looks like a cross.
Yeah.
Right.
He's stuck in the
I can't get
corner.
near it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you step towards it to try to grab it, your hunger goes up by 1 as you bleed out.
But can I get it?
You can step towards
I
it.
will
Yeah.
try. Yeah.
Okay. So your
Go
hunger
balls
goes
out.
up. Yeah, your hunger goes up. You can feel that there's blood coming out of the down your face, from your eyes, from your nose. And the moment you grab it, it burns your hand for another point of superficial damage. You got one
Can you
left.
separate it? But can you separate it is the question now.
Do you want to take another point?
What damage am I at right now?
You have 4 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take another point to see if I can separate this thing.
Okay. There is a moment where you grab the crossguard, you're grabbing the hilt itself, like the handle, and you start to pull, and there is this racking pain that starts to envelop you, and for a moment you are no longer in the church. There is this field, pristine, beautiful, devoid of humanity. In the distance, you can see this huge tree that kind of is reminiscent of Yggdrasil, just kind of like the world tree. You're in the shadow of it, and there are 4 shapes that come up out of the shadow, 1 in each of the cardinal directions, and you hear them say something. You don't recognize it, but you get the gist of it. They want you to submit to be repentant, and each in turn tries to offer you salvation and redemption, and each in turn is turned away from you, and with each of the silhouettes that turns away, you can feel a different pain in your gut, and you come to the sword has clattered to the ground, the 2 pieces separated, but the priest is awake, sitting up, and he pulls a chain with a cross on it from under his kind of dress shirt, his undershirt, and he says something in Latin, and
Yeah, I want to try to use a presence power at this moment to stop this guy from whatever he thinks he's going to do.
Okay.
1 second.
Which one do you want
I'll
to
let
use?
him go first.
What happened?
No. Please do what
Yeah.
you're going to do.
Yeah, which one are you going to use?
1 second. 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm looking back at me. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can try to entrance him.
Okay. So you activate your presence. You're used to the effect that it has on mortals, and for a moment it looks like it works on him, but then he pulls the necklace free and he holds it out to you again, and although he's wavered in his Latin, he continues whatever he's saying. What are you doing, Andreas?
I was debating whether to make another magical illusion of Jesus appear to see if I could stop this guy from whatever he's doing.
You could do that. That'd be terrible for Erickson.
I mean, at this point, the guy's awake. So
Yeah.
at this point,
Yeah, you know what? This will just be for fun.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'll be going for two. I'll go for two senses, sight and sound.
Okay. What is the sound that you're attributing to?
Oh, in case Jesus wants to talk.
Oh, okay.
What is it, my son?
Yeah. So that's going to be Fata Morgana.
Mhm.
So that's going to be manipulation plus obfuscate. Your obfuscate is 4. Manipulation is 3, so that's 7 dice. 4 regular, 3 hunger.
if you need to use your willpower, do it.
Yeah, I think I will use my willpower on this one.
Well, remember, your willpower is after the roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I need it. I'll
Yep.
let you know in just a moment. Okay. 6, 4, and 2 for the hunger dice. And then 6, 5, 8, 7.
Okay. You get enough, and you see a cross with Jesus on it.
Oh, not the cross. I'm talking about like almost
Oh,
bloody
like-
Christ, like yeah, just standing there like to be a vision before, not just.
Okay. So the classic Obi-Wan looking
Yeah.
Jesus.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, well, judging by this priest, whatever he thinks Jesus would probably look like.
Okay. There's a moment where he looks at it, he looks at the two of you, and then again he brings the cross forward, now kind of backing himself into the corner.
I make
And-
Jesus look disappointed.
And as he finishes the Latin, you feel the church grounds itself become sanctified. And it starts to hurt being in the church.
Cool. So I'm gonna lunge at him
Okay.
because at this point, yeah.
So you got to use a willpower point to.
Oh no.
To
Yeah.
fight the.
I'll fight all this shit.
Okay. And your hunger goes up by 1 because you start
Yeah,
you
you
start
know-
bleeding.
You know what? I'll start bleeding from the eyes if I need to. So
Yeah. Oh, you're bleeding from everywhere.
If you succeed at this, you can always feed on the priest.
So yeah, I'm going to use. Hold up, because now it's going to be potence.
Oh. You're gonna activate your prowess.
Yeah, because this guy's going to die.
Okay.
This guy. Yeah.
Mhm. So
Activate,
make a rouse check.
that's a 9.
Okay, so you don't get hungrier, but now you get to add your potence of 3 to the strength and brawl roll that you were making. So it's going to be 9 dice.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is squeeze the life out of this man.
Okay.
7, 8, 9. Would I also be able to bite down on him at all, or no?
You could do a bite attack, sure.
I just want to be able to essentially bear hug, bite into him.
Yeah. Live your life.
Yeah, this is not. Why do I feel like this is something's about to happen?
We're
This is
murdering a
not-
priest in the middle of the night. Nothing. I mean, this is,
Yeah, but he's
Priest.
all nonchalant about. Yeah, he's all nonchalant right now.
Yeah.
Fuck me. All right, so that's a 10 and a 7 on the hunger.
Remember, you have a hunger of 3.
Oh, sorry. God damn it. 10, 7. Those are the 2 that I use. Let me re-roll this one. Oh my god. And a 6 on, so a 6, 10, and a 7 on the hunger.
Yep.
And then I have another 10, 2 1s, and 1 6 and a 4.
Okay.
So that's
It's a messy crit.
yeah, fun times, guys. Here we go.
Fun times.
Splash zone.
I love that
Oh.
I had set myself up to be on the page with the messy crits and bestial failures. Da, da, da. Okay. So, there is the urge to kill is so feral inside of you as you lunge forward, fighting off the religious iconography and the effect that it has on you. At the moment you reach him, that you don't even have time to bite down, even with the hunger coursing through you, the ferocity of being rid of this person supersedes anything else going on, and there is no control. There's just the hand gripping and shattering the shoulder blade and the top of the neck area, and the other hand shattering and breaking the opposite side hip of the person. And then there is a spray of blood and muscle. And as one half of this person is dropped to one side and the other half is dropped to the other. And the moment that the life escapes him, the sword clatters to the ground. The flame goes out.
Mm.
And you can hear what sounds like glass shattering from the other side of the church itself.
Glass shattering?
Mm-hmm.
So going for the piece, do the pieces of the sword still hurt?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, not like even with the edge, but yeah.
Yeah, no. The sword, even looking at the sword, bothers you. And you hear the church bell start to ring.
Oh shit. Okay.
Shit.
Yep.
All right. So can I grab some priest vestments or something to wrap the sword pieces in to get this thing the fuck out of here?
You try, and even touching them with like 2 or 3 layers of cloth still bothers you.
All right. Well, I am then now lifting this fucking file cabinet and I'm hoisting it with me.
Yeah,
and
take it.
At this point, it is. Do I happen like quick glance when I lift that up? Do I see any kind of keyhole or any kind of like old cabinet that would fit that one Victorian key?
The Victorian key? No. Not in the cabinet. Or not behind the cabinet, not on the floor underneath the cabinet. It doesn't look like it belongs anywhere in the church.
Good. This guy's an asshole.
This is for something else entirely off-site from the looks of it.
Yeah. So, is there any documentation? Anything that would have an identification of this person?
I mean, you can always take the wallet.
That he has? Yeah.
The pants.
Yep. I'm taking the whole pants.
Okay.
Putting it in. I'm opening the filing cabinet, putting the pants in, closing the filing cabinet. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit.
You can't take us anywhere, man.
Shit. His blood is everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is very easily for the people looking for it. This is a masquerade breach.
Okay.
Looks like we're setting another fire.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was just like, all right, time to set a fire, guys. Let me see. The liquor cabinet.
Sacrificial wine.
Yeah, man.
Sacramental wine, some papers, whatever we do, let's get this thing going.
It burns the best. Here we go. So start lighting those vestments, start lighting his bed on fire as we step out.
Sure.
Do we see anybody? Because if I'm chucking this filing cabinet at somebody, I will. So who
Oh
is
yeah, there's people gathering
from where?
all in the neighborhood, all around the neighborhood.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Shit. All
Yeah.
right.
They're all
Now might be
pointing at the church.
now might be a good time to chuck that filing cabinet as hard as you can, and let's turn our obfuscate back on and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So let's see. Where is it? Is there an alleyway that is What's the closest alleyway from here, from where we would go out through the back?
60 feet away, easily. The church. Church kind of sits.
Is on.
Yeah,
My prowess is on.
The church sits on the corner lot, and it eats up both corners.
Okay.
So it has a lot of space between it and the next kind of
well, if I need to, I will chuck it to the top of a building that's closest to us then. And
Sure.
I'll worry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So.
You got enough dice. It doesn't matter. You throw it.
Okay. Obfuscate time. Boop, boop.
And you're being looked at, so it's going to be
Shit.
really difficult.
Well, wait. Well, actually, no. If we go back, if I would chuck it, walk back in, obfuscate, and then walk back out, we should be fine, right?
Rouse check.
Yep. I'm gonna be bleeding from my eyes, aren't I? Yes, I am. Yeah, I got a 4, so yeah, I'm at hunger 4. So now I'm bleeding from the eyes.
So now you activate your flaw.
Yep. I didn't get any blood from him at all.
No. Your messy critical
didn't allow it.
Prevented you from wanting to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Man. You know,
always, bro.
Everybody's like, oh, I'll never get to hunger 4 and have to worry about stigmata, and it's just like, sure.
Well, this is the second time this has happened to me.
Yeah. My favorite was it was a regular occurrence for Brandon.
Yeah.
What'd you get on your Rouse check, Eric, for obfuscate? Let's see if you also go to hunger 4.
6.
Okay. No. But you don't have stigmata, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. But a hunger 4 is still a concern.
Hunger 4 is a concern. But yeah, one of the last things you see as or one of the last things you hear as both of you disappear into the shadows is Erickson going, fuck.
Yep.
And you see that there is a little trail of blood. But it's not going to be hard to follow him wherever he's going.
Oh, this sucks.
I mean, at a certain point, your trail's going to stop because you're going to jump onto a roof of a building.
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
So it'll stop on the ground.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, getting the fuck out of there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're leaving a trail, so Andreas doesn't have to worry about holding your hand.
Yeah. I just want to get out of distance so people are still looking around, obviously.
Yeah. They're all...
the church is now burning, so they have other problems.
Yeah, no, they were already kind of like just in awe of the travesty that happened to the church. Now that the fire is kind of...
Oh my god! I should have sparked rage and caused people to start going crazy in the streets.
Now that the fire is kind of like enveloped the rear of the church and it's working its way forward, a lot of them are just kind of like gasping, and there's people telling others to call for help and call the fire department. But at a certain point, the blood trail ends. Just because at this point Erickson has leapt up onto the roof.
Yeah.
But you see that Andreas will see the blood trail kind of go up to the wall of the building, and then it just stops.
Well, I'll scale up to where he probably went.
Yep. And it continues until it gets to the filing cabinet.
Yeah. At that point, no one. I would imagine like. I just want to be able to take off obfuscate and just get out of that area as much as possible.
Well, I mean, you're still bleeding from the eye, so it's how do we handle this?
Yeah.
I mean, I need to eat.
Yeah.
I need to eat, and I need to eat like soon, like immediately.
It is full on. I think this is the first time Andreas has actually seen this. But like his hands have the wounds.
Yeah.
It looks like he was nailed to a cross. Like you imagine that his feet must also share the wounds, but he is bleeding from his eyes. There's little pinpricks of blood that are forming a kind of crown around his head. He has there's a kind of dark brown, dark red spot that's growing on his stomach.
Yeah. Once I take off obfuscate, I look at Andreas, who just happens to come up as well. I go,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, take this filing cabinet. I give him the keys. I go, take the filing cabinet. I'll meet you back at the apartment.
Let me check my stats for a second. I guess you could hand me that.
Worst case scenario, if you don't mind being one step bound towards Andreas, you could take one hunger from him.
Right, but then he would be at 5 hunger.
4.
I would be at 4 then.
Yeah. But he doesn't have stigmata.
Yes, and I don't bleed all over the place, so I can go handle that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, let me just do that then.
Okay.
All right.
I think that'll probably be easier.
Yeah, okay.
And with that, yeah, so it brings me down to 3 so I can stop bleeding.
Yeah.
For the life of God.
Yeah. And slowly the wounds on your hands begin to close. The wound on your stomach from the spear begins to close. There are no more pinpricks around the crown of your head. But Andreas is hungry.
Yeah, but I'm like, do you feel all that shit, or does it just appear and bleed?
No, this is this is God's final joke on me for being what I am.
Go figure, he'd blame you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I'm definitely going to have to hunt.
I'll meet you back at the apartment.
And away I.
Yeah. I want to be able to. Where did we leave the car? I'm trying to remember. We left it a few blocks away.
Yeah, down the street.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just locate the car.
Yep.
And just put the cabinet in the back seat or in the trunk.
Sure.
And and start and head
prowess,
to the
it's not difficult to bend it, bend the corners enough so that it'll fit in the back seat. But yeah, is Andreas looking to kill, or is he just trying to slake?
I think we've done enough for one evening, murder wise. I mean, killed the priest. That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
I think I'll hunt, but I'm gonna try to leave him alive.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Even if I don't get my hunger all the way down, just to at least take the edge off a bit. But
yeah,
I'm gonna try. I will try to not kill.
Yep. We'll say that you successfully bring down your hunger by 2 then, but it takes you the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
You get back to the apartment. Erickson, pull out the filing cabinet, and you start going through it. There's paperwork that looks like it's tax stuff for the church. It looks like it's request to use the backyard. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Bullshit.
If there's anything hidden in the paperwork, it's a fantastic job. Like there's no capitalized letters that are out of place to kind of have a hidden message. Everything looks like whatever. If there was a cipher used, there is a method to the madness. And without the key, you're not going to be able to crack it.
Let me see. Oh, what did we do with the? You have the Andreas has the two pieces of that crossblade, right?
I wasn't even able to get him out of there.
No.
Oh.
That was one of those. Even if I tried to wrap them up, like it was hot, burning, or whatever the fuck was going on, it was clearly I couldn't get it out.
Nope.
Copy that. Okay.
Yeah, that sword did not feel good to the touch.
No.
Let me
And
see.
I don't have any vulnerabilities to faith, so that just tells you whatever the fuck it is, it's jacked up.
Yep.
So I rip apart this filing cabinet. There's nothing.
No hidden compartments. Everything it looks like it's on the up and up. The records go back 12 years.
Okay. Any names that jump out at me from anything in this paperwork?
Not really.
The deed of the land, the plot of land that's on.
It's not on the paperwork. The paperwork is literally just tax stuff for government purposes, and then requests to use the backyard of the church grounds.
So for tax purposes. So what name is used on there to file the taxes?
The Archdiocese of Salem.
God, I ripped apart this dude for practically nothing at this point. For a key.
Mhm.
That's what I ripped him apart for. Ripped him apart for an old Victorian key.
Yeah.
This is a game of psychological horror. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had really much luck with churches. The last time we went into a church, we went into it and it was emptied out. There was nothing in there. This one, it's just one lone fuck ass dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Who's apparently guarding two-part Excalibur. So
yeah. The whole time that I was with when I crushed this guy, he was mortal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but he was able to not get entranced by what I was doing.
Correct.
Okay, so that means he's a ghoul, which means I killed a ghoul.
It's not a far leap to make.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. His wallet. What's his name?
It's inconsequential.
Oh, so it doesn't matter this guy's name.
Doesn't matter.
Jim Bob.
Jim Bob. Jim Bob, the son of God.
James Jameson. Just for fun.
Alright. Yeah, that's great. Inside the apartment we have there's a I'm gonna grab one of the bowls and start setting this paperwork on fire because I do not want this.
Okay.
It's little paper by paper. That's great. I have superficial wounds and hunger 3 for bullshit. This is great. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're lucky that he didn't get to use a sword against you, because then it would have been aggravated damage.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, sweet Jesus. All right, good. Glad we kept that away from at least separate.
I guess we're gonna have to just listen to the news to see what happens about this. I actually, you know what? There's a TV on. Let me see if any like breaking, if anything is coming up at all. This is the 80s. Never mind.
I was like, yeah, it's 1985. We're like 6 years away from 24-hour news coverage.
Yeah. The morning news will talk about the fire at the church.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna go out from the apartment then real quick to see if I can go ahead and just satiate the hunger 3 that I have.
Okay. Are you looking to kill, or are you just looking to slake?
I've already killed one person.
That didn't answer the question.
Correct.
I've already killed one person, so I will not do that. So I will just slate. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it takes you the rest of the night, but you get 1 hunger reduced.
Fucking hell. So I'm down to 2 hunger.
Yeah.
And what about the superficial wounds, I guess?
You have to rouse to heal.
Cool.
So that's the trade-off.
Yay.
But by the time you get back to the apartment, you notice that Andreas is still not there. But it is getting close to morning, so you imagine that he must have found the place. Hunker down.
Yeah. So if it's getting to morning, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready then to take a nap.
Okay.
Is there any of the free souls that are by the apartment at all, or no?
Yeah, there's a couple that live in the apartment building. Shepard's
Okay.
one of them.
Copy that. Did I see him at all when I left or when I came back in?
No, but he's also by the time you come back in, he's probably knocked out.
Yeah, figures. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna turn in then, just so that I can go ahead and try to rouse to take the superficial bullshit off.
Okay. Next night, you guys meet up. It's been a rough
Couple of days.
day.
A rough day.
But by the time you meet up, you'll notice that the evening news has still not uncovered the purpose of the fire at the church.
Good.
But they are happy to report that there was no one in the church when the fire started. So they're counting this as a blessing since no one was hurt or killed.
That's not a good sign.
But the fire department is trying to figure out if this is an arson or if this is just an accident that could have been prevented.
Thank God we didn't use gasoline, and there's lots of candles in a church.
Yeah,
All
but yeah, the part that that's
Oh,
unsettling is the fact that
you
there's
mean
no
the priest
body.
that we murdered and there is no body?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I imagine the sword's not there either. This is great. We have a wielding undead priest looking for us now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Add that on Chuck.
1,000-year-old werewolf and a motherfucking marauder. You know why?
Yeah.
Because we're anarchs, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have to understand that there are vampires in charge of, there are kindred in charge of the news, and if they don't want information getting out, they will
That's
stifle
true.
it.
That's true. That's true.
So it's easier to pass off a story of an accidental fire than, hey, the priest was found in half in 2 different pieces in a fire that doesn't make any sense. So some kindred woke up and was like, this is not a news, or was about to go to sleep when he got the call, and there was just like, let's stifle this.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask also is, I want to take a fresh. Now that I've had a day, I've had a day to sleep.
Mhm.
I want to take a fresh look at this key, this Victorian key.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see if there's any etching, writing, symbols. Like what is it made out of?
Looks like it's made out of iron.
Mm-hmm. So if it's made out of iron, that means that there has to be. If it's made out of iron, that means that it has to have some kind of tag, or something that was left by the person who made this.
I mean,
I would think.
the only thing that stands out as you're kind of looking at it is the circle that is kind of holding it in a keyring.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's been intricately carved to resemble a circle of flowers.
God, why does that tickle my brain? As far as Salem itself, Salem is pretty old. Salem does have homes that would venture to say that could possibly have been from the that could have possibly been made with during the time that this key was made, meaning that the one of some like I'm assuming that this is to a house or to a location in Salem.
Yeah. The houses from that time period are few and far between, but the only thing that comes to mind is historic downtown.
Hmm.
Back where the Orpheus Theater was.
Mm, yeah. Should we lay low? So I look at Andres. I'm like, should we lay low for a bit?
I think we fucking should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We'll skip a week. Then I think that's enough time for you to not get into trouble. We'll say that you can bring your hunger back down to 1 and you can heal yourselves.
That's
Okay.
great.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I am a benevolent storyteller.
Sure you are. What I want to ask is, during that week, was there anything of note? Any stirrings that we may have heard from?
There is one of the outreach programs that the archdiocese has called on to kind of repair the damage to the church has made their way into the town from Vatican City itself.
Wow.
Interesting.
So there is a papal presence in the city.
During this week also, how much of a stretch would it be that I would be able to have this key looked at?
By who?
Yeah, I don't trust him. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, man, this is very, because the only thing that I'm concerned about is whoever gave this guy this key. Shit, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. That's the only thing I'm concerned about right now. Is who can we trust? I don't know who we can trust with this, Andreas.
Nobody, frankly.
Let me see. Well, during that week, am I able to get a status from Mickey Blue Eyes?
No. He is working every angle he can to try and find out who Andrea Sawyer is. But every time that he thinks he has a lead, the well dries up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. I want to give him the information that we got, as far as from the 4 locations, and as well as the 2 names.
Okay.
I know it might. I know it might be what's the word I'm looking for? A long shot.
Yeah.
But really, what I actually, you know what? For Mickey Blue Eyes, if he can check, I want to explain to him. I want to illustrate to him what the circle of flowers looks like on this key.
Sure.
I want him then to see if there is any information off of any of the homes, the
Oh,
older style.
yeah, I was gonna say, find out what some of the oldest buildings in the town are.
Yeah, what the
Okay.
oldest buildings in the town are.
Yeah, he'll get on top of that.
Yeah, that's probably easier for him. That'll probably be something easier for him to give us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a rough ask. He does sound frustrated that he hasn't been able to find anything on Andreas Sawyer.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for a Nosferatu, that has to be frustrating.
He's mortal.
no,
sorry.
Mickey Blue Eyes is
Yeah.
mortal. He's
Yeah,
my
no,
mortal contact.
Yeah, he's a
My
contact.
bad.
No.
No, I mean, I guess I would imagine then during that week, should we try to get in touch with the bouncer, the one that Melvin knows?
Oh, we don't even know if he has anything to do with this. If we're just we're upturning too many stones at once.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
I guess I want to keep tabs also with Trix. Since it's been a week.
Yeah.
Did she get hired in the Dance Nocturne?
No.
Did she get hired
She did
anywhere?
not. She did get a job at the Vagabond.
Fuck.
Thompson let her have a job there.
Does Thompson know that's my ghoul?
He probably figured it out. He is Tremere.
Mm-hmm. Was hoping we can get into the Dance Nocturne.
Sure.
I was hoping for that little nugget, but apparently somebody stifled that.
No.
That's
There was very specific instructions if somebody came looking for a job at the Dance Nocturne.
There was very specific instructions?
Mhm.
Who set those instructions?
They, the mysterious they, who owns the Dance
exactly.
Nocturne.
The mysterious they.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would want him to focus, like, yeah. In that week's time, would we get that information as far as the oldest homes?
Yeah, it wouldn't be that difficult. Especially since he would use it as a kind of palate cleanser for all the frustration of hitting dead ends with trying to find Andreas Sawyer.
Yeah. So, for some of those oldest buildings in town, do they line up with any of the addresses we had from
the ledger?
Some of our previous ledgers or anything?
They do not.
Yeah. Damn. Any of the houses, he would also, getting the address, would also get the deeds of the people who own that plot of land or the homes, correct?
Some of the majority of the land that the homes rest on belong to the city. They're historical buildings that have been restored and kind of put on display with visiting hours and things like that. So they're kind of museums of the time period.
Okay, so the ones that aren't part of the city.
There's only 3. And each one, he tells you he did some research, and the names associated with the ownership don't pass any heavy digging, so they're aliases for somebody else. But he would have to use considerable resources to try and figure out what's going on, because the bare minimum leads to more dead ends like Andreas Sawyer.
Oh, but we can at least get the addresses of these 3 homes, right?
Yeah, he gives you the address for all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But those 3 homes specifically, considering they have aliases that would be harder to find.
Mm-hmm.
And all 3 of those homes, they're in the downtown area?
No, they're spread out, actually. There's one in the eastern part of Salem proper. There's one in the south end near the country club. And there's one on the river kind of overlooking the country club, but not in the same vicinity.
Andreas, I'm kind of feeling like I'm grasping at straws here, but I don't know what you think about all this.
I think we're running around in circles. Maybe talking to the doorman's not a bad idea after all.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. At least.
Let's go find us a kinfolk.
Yep.
Okay. So at the end of the week, you guys share the information that you've gathered. Share Mickey's frustrations at the brick walls that he's had to deal with. And then you make it a point to go to where the Red Eye Lounge used to be and talk to the barman. The bouncer kinfolk that you remember had a connection to Melvin and to Manny. So that should be a fun conversation when next we meet. But I think this is a good point to call it for tonight. So thank you guys for coming back. Thank you, the audience, for joining us. It has been a rough road getting back here, but hopefully this is the start of many more to come. Just gotta take it slow, you know.
Yeah.
But there will be no other streams this week. I'm trying to do one a week until I'm back up and running at full steam. But next week on Wednesday, you can catch me over McStabber Studios as Changeling Season 2 starts up again. And then the last Monday of the month, I'll be on McStabber Studios Monster of the Month stream as well. And that's a fun character to play because he's a conspiracy theorist. So I pull out some tinfoil hats here and there. But as always, please take care of yourselves. If you feel like you need help and you're watching live, there are phone numbers in the Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube later. Just know that there are people out there who want to help you. If you're not in the United States, there's a link for findthehelpline.com. That'll also be in the Twitch chat and the YouTube box. So you can find the resources in your area or closest to you. But just know that it is okay to not be okay. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and there's an abundance of terrible things happening in the world. And sometimes we need a helping hand. You know, we need somebody to just listen or to offer advice or to kind of be a shoulder for us or an ear. So just know that there are resources out there and there are people out there who want to help you. As always, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, boys, for coming back to this shenaniganery.
It's our pleasure. We missed you.
It's always a pleasure.
Every time that you burn one thread, I'm happy to give you 18 more. So, so I'm excited to see where you guys go with this.
Look, it's been a while. It's been a while since we burned something. So it's been a while. So we burned something, in tradition.
I'm proud of you. It took almost the entire episode for you to burn something.
And we were being all peaceful and quiet and stealthy, and then he fucking
really
woke up.
You really were. And
I was trying. He wanted to die.
And then
He wanted to die.
You revealed the pieces of the Crusader sword to themselves, and shit has to happen.
Oh man.
But yeah, things are gonna get interesting with the Vatican City in town.
Yeah. I'm going to summon the Vatican, and I'm going to summon the werewolf, and I'm going to make them fight.
That's a plan. That's a plan. But as always, we will see you guys next week. Be safe. And thanks for coming along. Bye.